Amy Blackwell stood in the cold observation chamber of the Galactic Council's training facility. She looked out at the metal walls and bright lights. Her heart beat steady and calm, even though she knew what was about to happen. She had been chosen, along with 4 other people from Earth, to take a test that would decide what place humanity would have in the galaxy. The Krell were the ones who asked for a human to test. They were a species known for their hard and brutal ways. They did not show mercy. They did not show kindness. They tested beings by breaking them down to see what was left. Amy had volunteered for this test. She was not afraid. Though she knew fear would have been the right feeling, Amy had been a teacher before she left Earth. She taught people about the mind and about how humans behaved when things became very hard and very bad. She also studied strategy and the way wars were won and lost. The leaders of Earth thought she would be good at this task. They thought her knowledge would help her when the aliens tested her. The Krell trainer came into the chamber. Its name was Instructor 7. Its body was made of something like crystal that caught the light and threw it back in strange ways. The alien had many eyes that looked at Amy from different places on its head. When it moved, it made a sound like wind moving through broken glass. Instructor 7 spoke through a machine that changed its sounds into words humans could understand. Its voice made noises that seemed to come from many places at once. The sound made Amy's skin feel strange and tight. "You are fragile," the trainer said. It walked around Amy in a slow circle. "Your body is soft and weak. Your kind does not have the tools that we have. You do not have the strength that we possess. I am here to learn if you have anything of value. Can your kind do anything that matters? You have 7 days to show me something good. If you do not succeed, your people will be seen as less than us. We will keep you below. If you show something good, maybe we will think about your people differently." Amy felt the weight of those words. They were meant to press down on her and make her feel small. She understood this. The other humans who had come before her had already tried and failed. None of them had made it past the 3rd test. They had broken under the pressure. They had given up, but Amy was different. She had thought about this test every day on the journey to this place. She had known what the Krell would try to do to her. She had a plan, though it was not a plan to fight or to run. It was a plan to think in a new way. The door to the first test room opened before her. Amy walked through it without looking back at the trainer. She could feel Instructor 7 watching her, but she did not show any fear or doubt on her face. Inside the chamber, the walls began to glow. Images and shapes appeared on them. These were puzzles. They were hard problems that needed answers. The room showed her riddles and games that tested the way she thought. Some puzzles were about finding patterns. Some were about moving things in the right order. Some were about understanding how systems worked. Amy did not rush. This was important. The trainer would be watching to see if she became nervous or made bad choices. Instead, Amy sat down and looked at the first puzzle carefully. She understood something very quickly. Each puzzle was connected to the ones before it. They were not just random tests. They were made to teach her something. If she learned the lesson of the first puzzles, the harder ones would become easier. She spent an hour on the first puzzle. Then she solved it. She moved to the second one and did the same thing. She was slow and careful. She thought about why each puzzle was made the way it was. She understood what the trainer wanted her to feel: pressure, worry, and the fear that she would run out of time. But Amy did not feel those things. Instead, she felt interest. She felt calm. She looked at the puzzles the way a person might look at a book they wanted to read. She became lost in the work, and the time passed without her noticing it. Hours went by. The lights in the room changed colors many times. Amy solved every puzzle the chamber showed her. Some were very hard, and she spent time thinking about them. But she did not give up. She did not feel angry or upset. She simply worked. Finally, all the puzzles were gone. The walls became dark again. A door opened on the far side of the room. Amy stood up slowly. Her back was tight from sitting, and her eyes felt tired from looking at the bright lights. But her mind was clear. Instructor-7 was waiting in the corridor outside. The trainer made a sound like grinding stones. Amy did not know what that sound meant, but she thought it might be surprise or disappointment. The Krell had expected her to break. It had expected her to panic and to make mistakes. It had expected her to beg for rest or mercy. Instead, Amy had solved every test the chamber had given her. "You did not fail on the first day," Instructor 7 said. Its many eyes fixed on Amy all at once. "This is unexpected. Where do I sleep?" Amy asked. She was tired now, and she wanted to rest. The trainer showed her to a small room with a bed. The bed was hard and uncomfortable, but Amy did not care. She lay down and slept deeply and without dreams. The next morning, Amy woke early. She felt refreshed. She knew that today would bring new tests. The trainer would try new methods to break her down. But Amy was ready. She had learned something important already. The Krell measured strength through pain and suffering. They believed that only a being that could endure terrible things was worth something. They thought that breaking a person down and seeing them hurt was the best way to test them. But Amy knew something different. She knew that humans were built to survive things that would break others. She knew that her mind could do things that bodies could not do. She knew that calm and thought were stronger than fear and panic. She walked back to the training chamber for day 2, ready to show Instructor 7 what human strength really meant. The trainer was waiting. New tests were already being set up. The chamber was ready to push her further, to hurt her more, to try to make her break. Amy breathed in slowly. She was ready. She was going to show this alien what it meant to be human, and nothing was going to stop her. Day 2 began before sunrise. Amy had learned that the Krell did not sleep the way humans did. They rested for short times, but stayed awake for long periods. They wanted to push her when she was tired. Exhaustion made people weak. Exhaustion made people make mistakes. Instructor 7 led her to a new chamber. This room was different from the first one. The walls were made of something thick and heavy. There were no windows. No light came from outside. The chamber felt like the inside of a box, closed and tight. "Today, we test your body," the trainer said. "Your mind solved puzzles. But the mind is nothing without a body that can survive. The Krell are built to handle pressure. We can go deep into oceans. We can walk on planets where the air itself is poison. You humans break easily. Let us see how long you last." The pressure began slowly. Amy felt the weight pushing down on her shoulders and her chest. It was like someone had put heavy rocks on top of her. She breathed in, and her chest moved with effort. The air felt thick and hard to pull into her lungs. The pressure kept growing. It got heavier and heavier. Amy felt like the walls were moving closer to her. The weight pressed down on every part of her body. Most people would have panicked. Most people would have screamed and begged the trainer to stop. Amy did not. She sat down on the ground and crossed her legs. She put her hands on her knees. She had learned a technique many years ago when she was young. It was a way to slow down the heart and to use less air. She had never thought she would need to use it for something like this. Amy breathed in through her nose slowly. She counted in her mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. She held the air in her lungs. She counted again. Then she breathed out slowly. The same count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Her heart began to beat slower. Her body needed less air. The pressure still pushed down on her, but it no longer felt like it would crush her. It just felt heavy. Like wearing clothes that were too thick and too warm. Hours passed. The pressure grew heavier still. Amy kept breathing, in and out, slow and steady. Her mind became quiet. She was not thinking about the weight anymore. She was just breathing, just existing. Instructor 7 watched from outside the chamber through a clear wall. The trainer's posture changed, its many eyes fixed on her. Amy could not see the trainer's face, but she sensed surprise. The crowd had not expected this. Then the trainer did something new. Lights started flashing in the chamber. Bright lights, dark lights, lights that hurt to look at. Loud sounds came through the walls. The sounds were not words. They were just noise. Noise that made it hard to think. The pressure stayed heavy on her body. The lights flashed. The sound screamed all around her. It was meant to break her. It was meant to make her lose her calm and her control. But Amy had studied the human mind for her whole career. She knew that panic was a choice. Fear was just information. Her body was telling her things were bad. But that did not mean she had to believe the fear. She could look at the fear like a scientist looked at an experiment. She could study it without becoming it. She closed her eyes against the flashing lights. She stopped listening to the sounds as noise and started listening to them as patterns. Everything has a pattern. Even chaos has a structure if you look long enough. The sounds repeated every 5 seconds. The lights flashed in a sequence. Nothing was random. It was all designed to break her mind by making her feel like nothing made sense. But Amy found the sense in it. She found the rhythm. And once she found it, the fear lost its power over her. On day 3, the trainer changed its approach again. Instructor 7 did something different. It took Amy to a room with no tests at all. Just a comfortable chair and clear walls where she could see outside. "Tell me something," Instructor 7 said. "Your kind has endured the pressure. You have survived the sensory attack. This is not normal. Most species break much sooner, even species with stronger bodies than yours. Why do you not break?" Amy thought about the question. She sat in the chair and spoke carefully. "The Krell builds strength by testing the body," she said. "You make things hard so that survivors become strong. But humans have had millions of years of this kind of training. Earth is a world where almost everything can kill you. We live with storms that can destroy cities. We live with animals that hunt us. We live with sickness that can end our lives. Every human who is alive has come from a family of survivors. Our whole bodies are built to survive when things are bad." Instructor 7 made a sound. "But you are still weak compared to us." "Yes," Amy agreed. "Our bodies are weak, but our minds are different. Because we grew up surrounded by things that could hurt us, we learn not to panic when we hurt. We learn to think clearly even when we are scared. The Krell are very strong, but I think you learned strength only through power. You did not learn strength through survival." The trainer was silent for a long time. "Explain what you mean." "If someone threatens you with pain, and you are strong enough to endure the pain, then you feel powerful," Amy said. "But if someone threatens you with pain, and you are weak, and you survive anyway, then you learn something deeper. You learn that pain is not the worst thing. You learn that your mind can keep working even when your body hurts. You learn that you can choose not to break." Instructor 7 turned away. "You will rest now. Tomorrow, the final test begins." Amy was taken back to her room. She sat on the hard bed and thought about what had happened. She had not fought the trainer. She had not used strength or weapons. She had simply refused to break. She had simply kept going, and somehow, that was proving to be stronger than anything the Krell knew. She was ready for whatever came next. On the 4th day, everything changed. Amy woke up knowing that today would be different. She could feel it in the way the air moved through her room. The trainer was planning something new. Instructor-7 took her to a chamber that looked nothing like the others. There were no puzzles on the walls. There was no pressure equipment. There was just a large empty room with 2 chairs facing each other. One chair was for Amy, one was for the trainer. Today we do not test your body or your mind with games, Instructor 7 said. Today we test your choices. I will give you stories. In each story, there is a problem. You must tell me what you would do. You must explain your thinking. Show me how a human decides what is right and what is wrong. Amy sat in her chair. Instructor 7 sat in the other one. The trainer's many eyes looked at her from different angles. First story. The trainer began. You are the leader of a human ship. Your ship fights against the Krell. In the battle, your ship is damaged. You can save your crew if you destroy a Krell ship. But that Krell ship is carrying young Krell, not soldiers. Young ones, like your human children. If you destroy the ship, you and your crew live. If you do not destroy it, your crew dies. What do? Amy did not answer right away. She thought carefully about the question. I would try to disable the Krell ship without destroying it, she said finally. I would try to save both my crew and the young ones. But what if you cannot? Instructor 7 asked. What if you must choose? Humans or young Krell? Not both. One or the other dies. Then, Amy paused. She was honest in her answer. Then I would be very sad. I would save my crew. A leader has a duty to their people. But I would feel the weight of that choice for the rest of my life. I would know I killed innocent beings to save others. That would never be a right choice. It would just be a choice I had to make. And I would carry the pain of it forever. Instructor 7 made a sound like grinding glass. The Krell would have no pain about this choice. We would destroy the young ones without feeling anything. They are weak. They are the enemy. Killing them makes sense. Yes, Amy said. That is the difference between us. You can make hard choices without feeling bad about them. My people feel bad about hard choices. We hurt when we have to do terrible things, even if those things are necessary. Maybe that is why you were wondering if your way is right. If you felt nothing, why would you ask? The trainer was silent. Its many eyes blinked in a pattern that seemed to show thinking. Next story, Instructor 7 said. A human soldier is fighting a Krell soldier in battle. The human is winning. The Krell soldier is on the ground. The human could kill the Krell. The kill would be easy. The Krell soldier is no longer a threat. Should the human kill or not? Amy thought about this. Does the Krell soldier want to surrender? Can they stop fighting? If the human offers surrender, yes, the trainer said. But the human is not required to offer this. Many species do not offer surrender. They just kill defeated enemies. Then I would offer surrender, Amy said. If the Krell accepts, I would let them live. If they refuse and try to keep fighting, then I would do what I had to do. But I would give them the choice first. Why? Instructor 7 asked. The choice risks your life. The defeated soldier might attack again if you do not kill them. Because someday, Amy said, my people might be the ones on the ground, defeated and helpless. And we would want someone to show us mercy. We would want to have a chance to live. If I show mercy when I have power, maybe someone will show me mercy when I am powerless. Instructor 7 made a different sound now. Not the grinding glass of before. Something softer. Almost like wind instead of stone. The trainer continued with more stories. Each one presented a choice between winning and being kind. Between power and mercy. Between crushing an enemy and giving them a chance to change. And Amy answered each one the same way. She chose the hard path. The path that did not guarantee safety or victory. The path that showed that something mattered more than winning dot by the end of the day. Instructor 7 had not asked any more questions. The trainer simply watched Amy for a long time. "You choose mercy," the trainer finally said. "Your species chooses mercy, even when you could be safe by choosing cruelty. This seems like a weakness to me. A weakness that would destroy you in a galaxy full of enemies." "Maybe," Amy said. "But look at what happened. You tested me for 4 days. You tried to break me with pressure and sounds and bright lights. You expected me to fail. And I did not fail. Why do you think that was? Was it because I am strong? Or was it because I have something the Krell do not have? What do you have?" Instructor 7 asked. "I have hope," Amy said. "I was not fighting to survive the test just for myself. I was surviving the test for my people. I was thinking about all the humans on Earth who believed in me. I was thinking about my family and my friends. That hope made me stronger than pain. That purpose made me stronger than fear." She paused and continued. "The Krell measure strength by how much pain you can cause and how little pain can make you break. But real strength is the ability to choose something other than power. Real strength is being so confident in yourself that you do not need to destroy others to feel good about yourself." Instructor 7 stood up. Its posture was different now. It was not the stiff, hard shape it had been before. It seemed smaller, unsure. "You will rest," the trainer said. "Tomorrow is the final day. But the test is no longer what it was. I must think about what you have shown me." That night, Amy lay in her hard bed and listened to the quiet of the space station around her. She did not know if she had passed or failed. She did not know if the Krell would listen to her words or dismiss them, but she knew that something had changed in Instructor 7. The trainer was thinking in a way it had never thought before, and that, Amy thought, might be enough. On the 5th day, Amy understood that the real test was about to begin. Instructor 7 did not lead her to a chamber with equipment or puzzles or chairs facing each other. Instead, the trainer brought her to a room that was just empty space with clear walls. And then images began to appear. The first image was Amy as a child. She was maybe 7 years old, crying because other children at school had made fun of her. They called her strange because she read books instead of playing with them. The image stayed on the wall for a long time. Amy could see the tears on her young face. She could remember that feeling of being different and alone. "You were weak," Instructor 7 said. "You could not fight back. You could only cry." "Yes," Amy said. "I was a child. I did not have the tools to handle what was happening to me yet." The images kept coming. Each one was a moment when Amy had failed at something. There was the time she tried to be an athlete and was not good at sports. There was the time she applied to be a leader in school and was not chosen. There was the time she fell in love with someone and they did not love her back. There was the time she worked very hard on a project and it did not work the way she wanted. Each image was a wound. Each memory was something Amy had pushed down and tried not to think about. These were the things she was ashamed of. These were the moments when she felt small and not good enough. "You have many failures," Instructor 7 said. "Many times you were not strong enough. Many times you were defeated. Why are you not more broken than you are?" Amy felt her eyes burn with tears now, but she did not look away from the images. "Because," she said, her voice shaking, "I learned something from each one. When I was made fun of as a child, I learned that being different was not a bad thing. It was just being different. When I failed at sports, I learned what I was good at instead. When I was not chosen as a leader, I found other ways to help people. When the person I loved did not love me back, I learned what kinds of love were real and what kinds were just in my imagination." She took a breath. "These moments were hard. I hated them when they happened. But I did not let them make me hard and mean like other people might have. I let them teach me something about myself and about being human. More images came. This time, they were worse. There was an image of Amy's father, who had died when she was young. She had not been there. She had not been able to say goodbye. Amy felt the pain in her chest like a knife. "You lost someone," Instructor 7 said. "Someone important. This is a great weakness. Loss makes species weak. It makes them want to break things and hurt others." "Yes," Amy whispered. "Losing my father was the hardest thing I ever experienced. I thought for a long time that I would never be happy again. But," she paused, "his death taught me to value the people I still have. It taught me that time is precious and that I should not waste it. It taught me that everything ends, so I need to make my time matter while I am alive." Amy was crying now, not from fear, from sadness and from memory and from the weight of carrying those losses inside her. "The Krell do not feel this pain," Instructor 7 said. "We do not need others. We do not want others. We do not lose them." "No," Amy said. "You are alone. You have power, but no one to share it with. You have strength, but no one to protect. You build empires, but they are empty because there is no love in them. Your strength is real, but it is a small kind of strength. My weakness gives me a bigger strength. The strength to care about others. The strength to be part of something larger than myself." The images stopped coming. The walls became clear again. Amy stood in the empty chamber with tears on her face. She was not hiding them. She was not trying to look strong. She was just being honest about her pain. Instructor 7 came into the chamber. The trainer moved slowly, not in the quick, hard way it usually moved. The trainer looked at Amy for a long time. "In 5 days, you have not fought me," Instructor 7 said. "You have not used weapons or strength. You have not used tricks or lies. You have shown me puzzles solved. You have shown me pain endured. You have shown me choices made with mercy. And now you have shown me your broken places. You have shown me the parts of you that are not strong. Why would you show me these things? Why would you let an enemy see where you can be hurt?" Amy looked up at the trainer. "Because I am not afraid of you seeing these things. Yes, you could use them against me. You could target my weaknesses. But I would still survive. Because my weakness does not come from being soft. My weakness comes from caring about things. And nothing you do can take that away from me unless I let it." Instructor 7 was silent for a very long time. Its many eyes looked at Amy from all angles, and Amy felt like the trainer was really looking at her. Not testing her. Just seeing her. "The evaluation is complete," the trainer finally said. "But I have a final request. Humans are different than we understood. Your strength is real, but it is strange to us. It is not a strength we can measure the way we measure our own. Will you teach me about this? Will you teach me to understand what strength means to humans?" Amy was surprised. She had not expected this. In the stories she had read about first contact with aliens, it never went this way. The aliens either saw humans as beneath them or as a threat. They did not ask to learn. "Yes," Amy said. "I will teach you. But you have to understand that it will be hard. It will require you to look at your own weakness. It will require you to admit that the way the Krell have always done things might not be the only way." "I am ready," Instructor 7 said. "I have spent 5 days watching you. I have spent 5 days pushing you to break. And every time I pushed, you did not break. Instead, you became more yourself. More whole. More real. The Krell have been pushing for thousands of years, and we have only become more empty. Maybe it is time we learned a different way." That night, Amy did not sleep in her small, hard room. Instead, she sat with Instructor 7 in the trainer's quarters, and she began to teach the alien about what it meant to be human. She taught about love and loss and hope. She taught about why mercy mattered. She taught about why a person could be weak and strong at the same time. And for the first time, a Krell listened. Really listened. Without judgment. Without the assumption that everything that was different was wrong. The final 2 days of the evaluation period were not what anyone had expected. Amy did not take any more tests. Instead, she became the teacher. She spent hours with Instructor 7, talking about humanity and the way humans lived their lives. She told the trainer about families, how humans lived together for their whole lives, supporting each other, learning from each other, sometimes fighting and then making up. She explained that for humans, being alone was a form of pain. Being with others was a form of strength. Instructor 7 listened carefully. The trainer had never lived in a family. The Krell were born and raised in groups, but they were not families. They did not care about each other. They competed with each other. The trainer could not understand why any being would want to be near others and care about them. It makes you weak, Instructor 7 said. If you care about others, they can be taken from you. They can be hurt. They can fail you. Yes, Amy said. That is true. Care makes you able to be hurt, but it also gives you a reason to be strong. I want to survive. I want to be brave. I want to be good. Not because I am afraid of being weak, but because there are people I love who depend on me, and I depend on them. On the second day, Amy taught the trainer about art and music. She explained that humans made beautiful things not because they had to, but because making beautiful things made them feel alive. She told stories about human music and how sound could make people feel things inside their bodies. She talked about paintings and sculptures that people made to show what they felt. This is not logical, Instructor 7 said. No, Amy agreed. It is not logical, but it is human. And being human is about more than logic. It is about feeling alive. It is about making things that matter, even if they do not have any use. Even if they do not make you stronger or faster or better at fighting. They matter because they show that you are alive and that you can create things with meaning. She showed the trainer pictures from her personal computer. Images of sunsets on Earth. Pictures of forests and oceans and mountains. Photos of humans laughing and dancing and singing. Pictures of children learning new things. Photos of old people spending time with young people. Images of humans helping each other. Instructor 7 looked at each image for a long time. Your world is beautiful, the trainer said finally. It is, Amy said. Earth is dangerous and hard in many ways. Things kill us. We get sick. We suffer. We die. But we also have beauty and love and meaning. We have each other. And that makes it worth living there. The trainer was quiet for a very long time. Then, Instructor 7 made a sound different from any sound Amy had heard before. It was not the grinding glass sound of anger or the wind sound of curiosity. It was something softer. Something that might have been the Krell version of sadness. I want to understand this more, Instructor 7 said. But I am afraid. If I admit that your way is good, then I must admit that the Krell way is wrong. And we have built everything on the Krell way. For thousands of years, we have been this. How can I change? How can my people change? You start small, Amy said. You start with one person. You start with me and you. You show people that there is a different way. You show them that mercy is not weakness. That caring about others is not stupid. That beauty matters. And slowly, other people will see that this is true, and they will start to change too. On the 7th day, the evaluation was over. Instructor 7 was supposed to make a report to the Galactic Council about whether humans were worth anything. The trainer had tested Amy for 7 days and had pushed her as hard as any being had ever been pushed. Amy stood in the observation chamber, waiting to hear the results. The other humans who had failed previous evaluations were there. They looked at her with sadness, knowing that she had probably failed too. The Galactic Council members were there, representing 100 different species. They all wanted to know, were humans worth keeping, or should humanity be kept down, limited, controlled? Instructor 7 made an official report to the Council. The trainer described each day of tests. The trainer described how Amy had solved puzzles, endured pressure, survived sensory attacks, and answered hard questions about right and wrong. Amy Blackwell did not break, Instructor 7 told the Council. She showed more strength than any being I have tested in 10,000 years. But her strength is not the kind the Krell have always valued. It is not strength measured in power or pain or the ability to destroy. The trainer paused. Amy Blackwell has a strength that comes from inside. She has the strength to remain calm when everything wants her to panic. She has the strength to choose mercy even when she could choose power. She has the strength to care about others more than she cares about protecting herself. She has the strength to be real and honest, even when it would be safer to lie. Instructor 7 looked at the Council. I have spent my life measuring value by how much damage a being can cause, how strong they are, how willing they are to crush their enemies. I have measured beings the wrong way. Humans are not stronger than the Krell body, but humans have something the Krell lost a very long time ago. Humans have hope. Humans have love. Humans have the ability to grow and change and become better than they were. These things are real strength. The trainer continued, I recommend to this Council that humanity be recognized as an advanced species, not because humans are stronger than us in body or weapons, but because humans show a kind of strength we have forgotten. Humanity should be given a place among the stars as equals, and humanity should be heard when we make decisions, because we need to remember what strength really is. The Council was silent. The representatives of 100 species looked at each other. Some seemed angry. Some seemed to be thinking very hard about what Instructor 7 had said. Finally, the leader of the Council spoke. We will accept this recommendation. Humanity is hereby recognized as an advanced spacefaring species with full standing in the Galactic Council. You may take your place among the stars. Amy felt tears on her face again, but these were different tears. These were tears of joy and relief, and the knowledge that she had done what she came to do. She had not fought. She had not used weapons. She had simply been herself. And that had been enough. Months later, Amy returned to Earth with Instructor 7 as an ambassador and friend. The trainer worked with humans to help both species understand each other. Slowly, the Krell began to change. They began to see that there was value in mercy and in caring about others. The Krell would never be exactly like humans. They would never lose their strength or their hard nature. But they became better. They became less willing to crush the weak. They became more willing to listen and learn. And it all started because one human woman had refused to break under pressure. Because she had not fought back with weapons or strength. Because she had simply been honest about her weakness and her strength at the same time. Amy stood on Earth one morning, looking at the sunrise. She thought about the journey she had taken. She thought about Instructor 7 and the long talks they had had. She thought about a species that had learned something new. Humans had conquered the galaxy without lifting a finger. Not through force, but through something stronger than any weapon. They had conquered it with the truth about what humans really were, and that truth had changed everything.